was billowing out around him like wings. By the time he turned around and came back, his robe was billowing out around him like wings. By the time he turned around and came back, he had 20 new members, and the choir was still singing the invitational hymn. And then guess what? A dove landed on his shoulder, and a voice said, "How blessed we are as children of a God whose love is real. Love to touch each one of us is part of you and me." All the things that we've been through, you should understand me like I understand you. What you feel is happening, Lord. That's how it starts. To understand the world around you. Nothing is ever carried. Trust the way. And I conduct my hands, and I'll switch up my eyes, and then I'll open my mouth unbelievably wide. And if in some it's time to let go, I'll give a dose of my crazy vibrato. But the night we cast were spotted the color purple, set of the random black girls in the soul. I'm gonna start right now, right here. I'm going back to work it out, and I know that I can. But I need you, I need your help. Start by admitting from the cradle to tomb. Isn't that long enough? Light is the cabaret only the cabaret and I'm on the
Pretty lucky so far. I'd like to remain with the senator and help him pursue a presidential run in a few years.
I bet you would.
And if I'm going to do that, I'd like us to get along better.
You and me?
We never really got off on the right foot, and it's always tricky with spouses, especially since we're both women.
I know. You know, that's one of the reasons Charlie hired you. He wanted someone who wouldn't be afraid to tell me to shut up once in a while.
Yeah, he told me that.
Plus, he thought you two working together would be a deadly combo. And I agreed, so here you are.
I'm glad he listened to you.
I know that I might be a bit of a control freak, but Charlie needs that sometimes. He may be the one who wears the pants in this family, but I'm the one who says which pants.
And they're very nice pants. They
Let's just hope it translates to a victory. But whatever happens now, it's in God's hands. Hi, I'm the nigga who missed the march, and I'm here to tell you what had happened. What had happened was I had heard from some people that there was going to be an event, right? People was going to gather together and march on the White House to be like, stop racism. And I was like, oh, word? Yeah, they was going to run up on the man and tell him what's what. And I was like, word. Everybody made signs. It was going to wear all black. I mean, they had SWAT teams and shit, cops with pepper spray. Then, well, the day of the event, what had happened was it was raining. So naturally, I assumed that they would cancel the event for inclement weather. Like, we could postpone this function to a time that's more convenient, right? Right? I'm making sense, right? Because I ain't trying to get wet. So me, making acute presumptions as I tend to do, I kept my ass in bed because, well, it's raining, y'all. Come to find out, the day of, I'm getting text messages talking about some, where you at? Where I'm at? Nigga, I'm asleep. And they popping off like, nigga, you missed the march. Nigga, we getting arrested. Nigga, they breaking Darnell's arms. And I'm like, oh, what? And then they talk about some, it's your fault because you ain't show up to help. And I'm like, no, it is not. Shit, I like my arms. I ain't trying to get them broke. Ain't nobody tell y'all to march up on the White House. They strapped. And it's raining. Y'all must have lost your damn look. I'm about to march my ass right on back to bed. I ain't saying I fucks with racism. I'm just saying that personally, I think I'm more valuable here. Y'all have fun.
God. Stop.
Okay, now, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Theater Talk Live with my special guest tonight is Sidney Edwards. Sidney is an actress, a singer, a dancer, improv artist who is based out of Louisville, Kentucky, who is also the director of African American Theater Program at the University of Louisville. She received her BFA from Peace College, right? William Peace University. They used to call it Peace College in Raleigh, North Carolina. And from there, she received her MFA in theater and performance and a graduate certificate in African American theater from Louisville, Kentucky. And a dear friend of mine who I met at a JTP production. What's the Color Purple?
I was in The Color Purple, yeah.
And Tara Hodge, one of my directors, and we met together.
I think we met when me and Tara did Raisin.
Right, that's right. When y'all did Raisin, there you go. So how you doing? And tell us about a little bit about what you're doing now.
I'm doing good, Kitty. I'm glad you said that made me watch myself. You know that was hard, right?
I know it was. Well, we're gonna show the rest of it at the end of the show. So.
No, what was the question? How am I doing, or what am I doing?
Yeah, what are you doing now? But before you answer that, I just want to let my audience know that my co-host had an emergency, and so it's just going to be me and Sidney this afternoon. So go ahead, Sidney. What you up to right now?
Right now, I am serving as the director of the African American Theater Program at the University of Louisville, which is my alma mater. Very, very happy to be in that position. I'm probably like the youngest person that's had it.
Okay.
It was likely, it was started by Lindina Thomas, who's a big part of, the Black Theater Network and the festival. Right. Almost 30 years ago. It's been around for a while.
Wow.
But I'm teaching the classes there, undergraduate acting classes for our certificate in African American theater, which is the only certificate of its kind in the country, which is really cool.
Wow.
And directing shows. I just wrapped up a production, our very first in-person show, our return to live theater. We did Split Second by Dennis McIntyre at the top of the semester. So I'm in the process of getting my life back.
Okay. I think we're all in the process of that. And speaking to a director, I would rather direct than to be in the show. And
Not me. Not me. No. I've done more directing since I've been in this position, and I'm like, you know
Right,
what? This is a lot to think about.
right.
And I think I do dig it. I do dig it, but I don't ever want people to lose sight of what my actual passion is.
Exactly,
I don't want to lose sight.
because you can sing, girl. You can sing.
Thank you. You didn't even know I could sing. That's so
No, I
funny to me.
didn't. I didn't know. I just saw your acting abilities. So, what you working on now? Theatrically.
Theatrically, yeah, just wrapped up that project. I'm helping Actors Theater of Louisville workshop a piece that they're planning on putting up in the spring. They got some high schoolers to write some pieces around social justice, so we're workshopping that. And something else is I actually just wrapped up. We did a virtual trailer for Dracula at Actors Theater. We were going to do that one in person and decided to do just a little teaser first. We're going to bring that back next year. But yeah, right now just teaching, doing readings here and there, but winding down for the fall,
Yeah.
So that's what's going on.
And teaching students is something that is very rewarding. I
Yeah.
know. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
teaching theater and teaching character and teaching people how to become a character. Isn't that exciting?
It's so exciting. I love doing it at the collegiate level because I have so much more freedom, but I've done it pretty much on all
Right.
levels. So all the way from the babies and after school programs, and I've done adult classes at like Caramoo House in Cleveland, adult classes for Cleveland Playhouse. I've been all over the place, Kenny.
I
We'll
see.
get through the gamut, I'm sure, in this interview.
Yeah, so let's start from where you came from, okay? What made you get into theater? Because a lot of students say their parents don't want them to get in theater because it doesn't pay. But we know if you're doing your passion, you can get paid for it. So what made you get into theater?
Oh, it's a really, really good question. Yeah, I'm from that area where everybody's like, acting is not a thing that is a thing. Nobody
Right.
tells you that's something you can do. But I'd always been in the little PTA programs and the Christmas pageants, stuff like that. But I was a marching band kid through and through.
Okay.
From like 6th grade all the way through high school graduation, I was a drum major for 4 years, and I was not interested in doing college band. I had heard all of the nightmare stories, and I was not about that life. So, ironically, right before I graduated, we had a drama class, which was a total fluke for my area. I'm from Northampton County, North Carolina, out it's close to Rocky Mount,
Okay, yeah.
Grand Rapids area, out that way. And the drama class went to Lakeland Theater in Littleton, North Carolina. It's like, and I was like, they were doing the Cinderella. And I was like, oh, Brandy sings that. I know that. I could do that. And wound up auditioning and made my transition. So what I realized is that I always loved performing, especially, marching band. And I found a way to keep doing it without the marching band part. I wound up going to Peace College. Thought I was going to be a journalist, right?
Right.
I was like, you know what? Academic writing is not the business for me.
For you, right.
For me. And there wasn't even a theater like major when I went there. And I got sucked into the department because they needed students. We would actually get like little scholarships to go do the plays.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right? Because they had this theater and they needed to do stuff with it. And around my sophomore year, they made it a major. And I was like, I think I want to do that. And so that's what I wound up doing. I got the flag, we got the flag, but it's all panned out for the best, I think.
Right. And some of the plays that you've done, the piano lesson, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Yes.
You won an award for doing Ida B. Wells. Talk about that experience.
Miss Ida B. Wells was my thesis show. So fast forward all the way to the 3rd year of my master's program. And it was directed by Nefertiti Burton, who is also the current chair of the department now. She was also the chair at Howard University for a little bit.
Right.
But she directed my thesis. We wound up taking it to the Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival down in Americus, Georgia. and we won an award for that. We all both me and my castmate got Irene Ryan nominations. That was really nice. But it's my favorite show. Absolutely love that, and we got an award for it. So there you go.
Yeah. So you also do film.
Yeah, a little bit, especially more recently.
Let's talk about this film you worked on. The Bizarre Foods and Andrew is it Zimmer?
Zimmern. Yeah, that's a TV
Zimmerman.
show actually. You ever seen Bizarre Foods?
No.
It's on one of those. It's like on Food Channel or something like that. Anyway,
Oh,
that's actually
okay.
a funny story. I wouldn't consider that. It is probably my television debut, but I wouldn't consider it film. So in grad school, I actually got connected with a local historic site here in Louisville called Historic Locust Grove, and I
Okay.
am the pioneer of their enslaved interpretation program. So I was a grad student, and they needed some people because they had this idea that they wanted to represent the stories of the enslaved. And we say enslaved very, very purposefully because slavery was not who somebody was, it was a condition that they were in. And
Mhm.
so we're telling these stories to honor those people in these places that have historically, purposefully excluded them from the narrative.
Wow.
And a lot of black people are like, I don't want to touch it. But you know what? Our ancestors deserve their stories
That's right.
told. And if we don't tell them, people are going to continue to believe and to think that it wasn't a thing, that it didn't happen, that it wasn't serious. So I love being there and putting it in folks' faces that would otherwise ignore it. And we do get paid for it, which is great too. A little bit extra money.
Yes.
But and I am now, this story. Okay, so wait, we're going to Bizarre Foods. Okay. So
Right.
I was just doing my thing, on
Mhm.
site one day, and we actually had a guest for about a week, Mr. Michael Twitty, who is an
Okay.
award-winning chef. He's an expert on the cuisine of the enslaved. Like,
Wow.
Michael Twitty's awesome, right?
Well,
Uh,
what is the cuisine of the enslaved? Can you
now
explain?
see, now that's his expertise and not
Oh,
mine.
okay.
But there's like jollof rice, and he did the
Okay.
pig that he cooked over the pit.
Okay.
Really good stuff. It was amazing. And so they were doing the Bizarre Foods came out to do a special. The episode is about food of the enslaved and like the Underground Railroad and how
Right.
food tied into that.
Mhm.
And so I just happened to be,
Mhm.
in costume that day, and I'm in the kitchen with Michael Twitty. Next thing I know, there's a camera, and I was like, "Oh, I'm on the." And look, I felt so bad because if you look at it, I had like red fingernails on that day. I was
Wow.
not doing what I. I'm just sitting in the back eating this chicken that Michael Twitty fried with my red fingernails. Like, yeah, Michael, this is really good. And that's my television debut.
And now you are in a full length feature film that's about to come out,
Yeah,
which is
I was.
called Rebel. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I was blessed to get 2 feature films this year,
Okay.
this over the summer, through my agent here in Louisville. One of them is Rebel. The producers are out of Los Angeles, and we shot it in Cincinnati because a lot of film is coming to Cincinnati right now. And I don't know what to tell you about the plot because sometimes when you do stuff, you
Yeah,
just
don't tell. Yeah, they
okay,
don't. Right.
you ain't.
The film hasn't been released yet, so they don't
Let's
want
do
to give
this.
away too much.
Right, but I'm excited to see myself in this movie.
Okay.
We're trying to hopefully we'll have a premiere of it really soon. Um, but yeah, very excited to do that. And then I got to do, and that was like realism, just a straight narrative. And then I got to do another project called Myth of Man, which I got to shoot in a green screen room out in
Mhm.
Springfield, Kentucky. That one's going to take them a long time to put together and edit, but it was a lot of fun too doing that. The green
Yeah.
screen work is very different.
Well, you and I both know that there's a lot of difference between stage, theater,
Mhm.
film, and television.
Yeah.
And I taught a course called Acting for the Camera.
Mhm.
So, could you talk a little bit about the difference between the medias and being a director or actor in each one?
Sure. Yeah. Now, I definitely haven't been a director for film, but
Right.
what I can tell you is I know deep in my heart that I am a stage actress. Because all the time they got to pull me all the way back. that's that training. It's that back of the room training, right?
Right.
It's hard to shake once you get it.
Right.
So yeah, I feel like film just tends to be a little bit more delicate, a little bit more intricate and delicate when it comes to being an actor. Less is more, right? And then,
Right.
but I love being on stage and being able to just let it rip and be as I consider myself a character actor. I don't really play ingenues and stuff like that. I love character work. I love historical work. I love TYA shows. I love children's theater. I've done a lot of that. Pays the bills, we got to eat.
Right.
And more recently, I've had experiences directing for the stage. I've always kind of been main director adjacent. Let's put it that way. I've done a lot of assistant director positions, done some choreography, stage management. But they let me have a whole ship, Kenny. They let me have the whole ship. And I was like, okay, here we go. Lots of balls to juggle, keep in the air. But I did enjoy it. It was a good experience.
Very good. One of the things that I like about the stage is the immediacy. The thing with the audience and the actor. One time I was acting in a play and I was directing a play too, and I won't ever try to do that again. Because they kept saying, Professor Hinton, could you please get back in character? I'm directing when I'm supposed to be doing my lines, right? And so it's really hard to do. But anyway, this is an amazing field. You teach students all the time. So let us have some of your knowledge about being successful at this craft. Some of my students, if you show up late for class, you're going to show up late for rehearsal. And people are just not going to put up with that. Talk about it.
Oh, yeah. No. Actually, it was been talking to my students about this recently. There's a whole lot of people that are talking about, we're doing too much in theater. We're being too hard. And I think there's a difference between being tough on students, because so many people have nightmare stories about some of their acting teachers, right? Which is really sad.
Right.
But there's a difference about being hard, being a stickler about the basics of professionalism and personally attacking someone, which I never will do, right? But absolutely, you need to be a stickler about punctuality, excuse me.
Right.
You need to be a stickler about learning your lines. And there are other people out here oh, we need to learn it in the process. Give yourself time. Yeah, that's all well and good, but you're going to hold everybody up if you don't know your stuff. To me, it's all about preparation. It's all about preparation. You should absolutely be warming up before you go to the stage, right? You absolutely need to make sure that your physical and mental needs are cared for before you enter the space, right? You got to eat, you got to drink, you got to hydrate. You got to come prepared to be your best self, right? And we honor ourselves in different circumstances, but there's something to be said for doing your best to be prepared, I think. Right. I will be a stickler on that every day.
Yeah, because when a lot of people don't understand that you have to have the personality for this. I remember I was in Dance on Withers Row. I played Randolph, and Randolph doesn't come into the second scene. So I have to go through the whole first scene behind stage. And when it's time for the second scene to start, I'm standing at this door, right? And when you open the door, it's in the upstage. You open the door, you enter the set, and then all these people are in front of you, the audience, and you really have to. Do you know what I mean? You really have to forget about them and get in character as soon as that door opens. And so I love it when I hit the stage and a light hits me.
On. I've had actors talk about, and I've experienced the struggle myself too. That's the second act, that's the second scene. That's one thing, but been in shows where you don't even come in until the second act.
Right.
you get there with people and everybody's all one way. Hey. You get to the whole first act and all the intermission. You got to find a way to keep your energy going, right? Until you hit it. But you know what? The magic of what we do, the brilliance of what we do, it always clicks in when it has to. I think. Yeah. And it's actually not completely magic. It is work just to stay that prepared even through all of that.
So who are some of your favorite actors? I'm gonna tell you mine.
Okay.
Morgan Freeman. Oh Lord, Morgan Freeman.
It's your
I'm
dude.
yeah. Everything he's in, he he just lays it out there.
Mhm.
And Red, when he was Red in Shawshank. So
Yeah.
who's some of your favorite actors?
Absolute favorite. Absolute favorite. Absolute favorite is Miss Angela Bassett. All
Oh
day, every day. That's
yeah.
my girl.
Oh, what's
That's
love got to do with it? Oh
That's
my
probably the movie that made me want to act. And I was probably way too young to watch it when I did.
goodness.
But I love her. And I wish she had
Mhm.
gotten an Oscar for that one.
She
I-
should have gotten one for that one. Yeah.
But now, currently, she's like the highest paid Black actress in television,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
Which is amazing. I'm so happy for her. But I just think she has so much depth. And I don't even think that the role she gets anymore really scratch
Right.
the surface of what she's capable of.
Listen, 911 is not underutilizing that big name.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand how. Oh, that's maybe it's just me.
It's
But
Angela.
her time on the screen is not that much, and the stories are not that deep that she could pull. Oh, I'm think they wasting her talent using her name.
Yeah. I actually named my car after her one time. One of my last
Oh,
cars. My car was it was Angela Bassett Davis, also after Angela Davis. It's two she wrote.
okay, yeah. And
Um,
Viola Davis too is a good actress.
oh, fantastic. I love Viola. And the thing is, like, I didn't realize I had been like seeing her all along before she got like big. I remember maybe the first thing I ever saw her in was like Antoine Fisher. She ain't
Right.
hardly had no lines in Antoine Fisher, right?
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
like, what a powerful performance that was, and it always stuck with me. And then I would see her later. I was like, oh wow, look at this person. You know, she is not only is she an incredible actress, but she's an incredible person for the way that she
She really
encourages
is.
others.
The way she carries herself, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I show my
Definitely.
students the scene from Fences when Denzel Washington's character tells her, I'm going to be a daddy.
You should have done that.
Wow. She lays him completely out.
Mhm.
Completely.
She should. He should have done that.
But you know, a lot of people play that role, but she played it with the tears and the
That woman can cry, can't she? Every
yes,
time
she
she cries,
did.
she gets some snot. She be the same little nostril. God bless. You know what? That's a method. That's a methodology, though. That's
It really is.
a system that she found that she went. That's what we're all striving for. Being
Right.
able to turn it on when we need to. We're all
Exactly.
striving towards that.
At the end of Soldier's Story, when Howard E. Rollins is standing there after he found out that the Denzel Washington character had killed the sergeant, he's standing at the window and the rain is coming. This is a great cinematic moment. The rain is coming down, and then a tear just comes down his face.
It
I
probably
mean,
took me forever to get that shot.
yes, it probably did. So tell me, what pieces did you like to perform? What was some of your best pieces you like to perform?
Some of my favorite
Yeah,
stuff. And sometimes it depends. Like I have different favorite pieces in all the different places I've been. I'm one of those actors that's been really blessed. I've been interested in story. I've been really transient, right? So I
right.
started
So
in
you've been in
Raleigh.
Cleveland, you've been in Louisville, you've
Yeah,
been
I'm
when you're on your way to Los
going to
Angeles.
Los Angeles after this one wraps up. I love and musicals have always been my heart. Ironically, I don't always get the opportunity to do them. But
What
I
about
love cabaret. I love
I was
cabaret.
gonna say cabaret? Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty big deal in the Raleigh area when we put that one up. I was in college still, and I was a black Sally Bowles, which was like
Yeah.
2012, and everybody's like, ah, and me, I don't know no better, you know. I'm
Right.
just like, okay, I'm
You're
gonna do a show.
performing.
I'm performing. I did love Color Purple when we did that at Justice Theater Project. It was a beautiful
Mhm.
production. And Aida, I got to do Aida at Caramel
Okay.
House in Cleveland, which is one of my favorites.
Okay. But we
Mhm.
teach the Caribou House, you know. I mean, it's in the African American theater books. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's awesome. And I got to teach at Caribou House.
Okay.
Yeah, man, they're great people. Great people. What a important institution that we still have here, that we need to support and just honor. Right? They're still doing stuff. They're still going strong. I love Caribou House.
Yeah. So, what motivates you to perform? What or drives your passion? What drives your passion?
Uh, it's just what I do. It's the thing that I love to do. There's nothing that I love more than this. One of my very first mentors said, if you can find anything that you love, even a little bit as much as you do performing, you should go do that, because this is a hard road, right?
Right.
Nobody should be in this industry if they don't absolutely love it. And it's the love. It's the love that drives it for me. It's the chase, right? Of the next thing. I'm an unpopular opinion for some actors, but I love a good audition. I love
Yeah.
auditioning.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
love auditioning.
I do
Um,
too.
and it's just that performer spirit. And I was
Mhm.
made to do it.
Yeah, but it's almost like an interview. Like I always tell my students, I said, if I get the interview, I'm going to get the job.
It's absolutely an interview. That's how I teach it,
Yeah.
especially
You know?
particularly to my non-majors. I teach a lot of non-major courses, and I'm
Mhm.
like, auditioning, acting, particularly auditioning, is the same thing as an interview. We talk about the similarities, differences.
Right.
Is what it is.
So let's talk about the National Black Theater Festival.
Okay.
Sylvia Hammond, my dear friend, and uh, been with them since 2011, and it's just a phenomenal space to be in for a week. Of nothing but Black plays. Talk about your experience with the National Black Theater Festival.
Sure. I think it was my. Ironically, here's the other thing. I didn't know we had a National Black Theater Festival in North
What?
Carolina, in Winston-Salem, until I moved to Kentucky. Like,
Wow.
where was I? What was happening? Because, like I said, I was a newbie when
Mhm.
I started theater. Right, it was just
Mhm.
college was when I started, and I went to a PWI. They're not going to teach me about the National
That's
Black
right.
Theater Festival. That's
That's right.
not information I'm going to get there. They're actually not even able to support me as a Black actress, and there's a lot of people with a lot of stories about that. But in 2017, I got cast in this show called Baltimore by Kristen Greenwich.
I
Nefertiti
saw
Greenwich
that.
did it, yeah. And they were planning to take it to the festival, and needed a plug-in for the lead. God help me. And I remember I was actually doing two productions at the same time. So I was rehearsing two different shows at the same time. One was a local one in Louisville, and that one. And I had never been to anything like National Black Theater Festival, and I was like, it blew my mind, really, just
Yeah.
how incredible it was. And I got to see, I think it was like Chicago something theater. They were doing like a cabaret show that they were doing, and I saw Ann and Emmett
Mhm.
came such phenomenal talent from all over.
Oh yeah, from all over.
Yeah. I was having trouble sustaining my voice that week, I remember, but I was on the edge of a voice surgery by the time I did that show.
Wow.
I can tell you that story too. But it was incredible. And one of the things I remember most actually is we had like preview performances up here in Louisville, pay what you can, trying to raise money to go to the festival.
Mhm.
And here, that play was like very taken very seriously. Like, oh, we're going to talk about these issues, and like, it's just, and we get it to National Black, and we get it in front of a very different audience,
That's
and
right.
it's
It
a
was.
very different show,
It
and
was.
I loved it even more, right?
Right.
Because Black folks,
They got it.
yeah, they get it, but we also gonna have fun when we
Right.
get it. We're gonna watch stuff a certain way, and a way that really feeds me as a performer, right?
Right.
So they got the issues, but we had a lot more fun with the audience down at National Black.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the way they do it, especially the opening night with the gala,
Mm-hmm.
and they give the awards to a lot of Black talent that probably wouldn't have gotten an award in the mainstream, right?
Mhm.
And then they honor people who've been there for a while.
Yeah.
And then they do their main stage production on Monday night after the banquet, and then a week of workshops and plays and
Oh, I went to
all
the Beer Cats.
and the party downtown Winston-Salem, block off the streets, change the name of the streets to black names. I mean, they do it all down there.
It was a nice day. You know, broke college students can't make it to the gala. You know, we weren't there.
Right.
One day I'm gonna make it though.
I understand that.
I'm gonna be there one day.
But
Um,
it's a great opportunity though for
Great.
students
Yeah,
to learn the craft and to network.
and to network. I was doing that. I was, networking, meeting all kinds of folks. I took the workshops. I took the Vera Katz workshop, and my cousin, I didn't get to do. She's a teaching down at FAMU, Kim Harding, and she was doing a reading of her play. I didn't get to be a part of it, but like all kinds of stuff are happening all the time. It was just an incredible space to be, right, and to be
Yes.
black. Loved it.
And the Midnight Comedy Jam. That's something, when I had to cover everything, so I got to see a lot of different
You
things. The
did.
Midnight Comedy Jam was the thing. It would be packed at midnight.
And I was performing. I couldn't be nowhere at midnight.
Right. That's right.
I had to go get some sleep. But no, we had a good time.
Yeah, let's talk about the craft of acting. What's some of the things you had to learn early that you might want to talk to people out there who are watching that might need to learn about the craft?
Again, preparedness, right? That's the first thing I think anybody needs to learn is prepared. And by that, how do we learn our lines? How do we show up fully ourselves and on time and ready to work? I think the thing that helped me really at the beginning of my training was improv. I did several improv workshops with William Peace University, which is one of the things I really credit them with. But what it taught me early on was how to get out of my head.
Right.
And how to just play and have fun. And I think that, and there's technique to that. There's very specific technique to improv that serves me in everything else that I do.
Right.
Yeah, I would say that's definitely where my technique started, was with improv comedy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because one of the things that I try to tell my students or when I'm directing is you have to learn the story first, right? Mm-hmm. And you have to learn what your character is to this story and what you want out. So when you walk on stage, you know what you want in this scene, right?
Yeah. We start with the
lines are going to come, and then the lines are going to come.
What'd you say, Kenny?
I said and then the lines are going to come.
Yes, if you get the purpose first, everything else comes. And I think that's why improv is so important, because it's driven by that. It's driven by the goals. It's driven by the tactics, right? And everything just falls into place once you have those goals and those tactics when it comes to improv.
So how do you juggle teaching, performing, filmmaking, all the things you do?
All the things I do. It's easier, right? Being a single woman, being a young single woman, it's a lot easier. There are certain things that I do not have to deal with, which is why I can do those things, and I acknowledge that. But it's the thing that makes me happy, man. And I really did have to, specifically around the pandemic, like right before the pandemic, I was like going, and like evaluate, you need a little bit of a life outside of this too.
You do.
It's hard, I think, when we're theater people, because our fun thing is also our work. Right. So there's not a lot of separation that happens. And so when the pandemic hit, I had to try to find other things that I loved as much. I'm not going to say I was successful at that. Just first of all, I don't think I was. I'm glad things are opening back up. But diligence and just like again caring for self the best that I can, making sure that I take that time to get all my sleep and to eat and
That's
to
right.
work out, right? That if
Mhm.
I can't sustain myself, I can't sustain my career.
That's right.
But I'm constantly on the lookout for things. I'm
Mhm.
constantly looking at the calls from my agent. I'm constantly on Playbill and backstage looking for opportunities, taking the ones that I feel that I can reasonably, pull off or submit for. It's just what we do. It's just what we
Yeah.
do.
Talk a little bit about networking, because that was kind of the way me and you met. I mean, and look how long we've been knowing each other from just meeting, at JTP. And then we saw each other at the National Black Theater Festival. And so just talk a little bit about the importance of networking in this field.
Yeah, I think that's one of the beautiful things about this field is you really never know who you're going to meet. And we're
Mhm.
constantly meeting people all the time as we move from production to production, right? And I think that's
Yeah,
really beautiful. That's why my Facebook is always popping,
right.
but it's important because and it's important to be graceful through it all, right? To be kind to
Right.
the people you meet because you don't know who's gonna wind up where, right?
That's right.
And it could be that somebody winds up in a position where they can help you, right?
Mhm.
Down the line. And if you are, me, don't expect them to help you. Or it could be that you are in a position to help somebody else, right? And you
Right.
absolutely should when you can. Um, I love Dominique Morso, a
Oh,
playwright.
yes.
Absolutely love her.
I love her plays.
And I was really privileged to be able to see her speak when I was living in Cleveland. The year I was there, I think it must have been fall 2019. Uh,
Hmm.
3 different theaters in town were doing her work, right? So she
Hmm.
came in and had like a little luncheon and like a talk. And one of the things that I took from that was, everybody's always trying to reach up to get help, reach up, reach up.
Hmm.
But you got to look around you, right? See who
Hmm.
is on the same level, who's as hungry as you are, who's moving in the same direction that you are, and build with them. That's the network that you want. Like
That's right.
her and Lin Manuel Miranda were like friends way back in the day before anybody knew who they were, right? They were working
Hmm.
together, probably like teaching artists and stuff. But yeah, finding your tribe, finding the people that want to do what you do and want to help you do, and you want to help them, right? Good working
Right.
partners. Hmm. Network
Well,
is important because the thing about theater is like nobody can do this by themselves. This is
that's
not
right.
a box, right? It's a
Right.
collaborative art form, and so we need each other.
Well, when you're talking about networking, I met Sam Art Williams at the National Black Theater Festival before I became a part of it. And kind of after the show, went backstage, met him, come to find out that he was from North Carolina. And so later on in 2003, here the show came to the Raleigh Little Theater, and here's Sam, and I was in it. And so then we struck up a friendship. So he allowed me to do the show. I directed the show at North Carolina Central in 2010. And then Tara Hodge directed the show for me in 2018.
What
And he
show was
came,
it?
The Dance on Widow's Row,
Okay.
where the 4 women who were all widows had buried 3 husbands apiece. And they were getting ready to do a little party, a soiree, and they invited these eligible bachelors, and one of them didn't go home before the end of the night.
I said
Outrageous comedy.
love
Outrageous comedy.
I love Home. That's my piece.
Yeah,
He wrote that I
home.
love. I
We did
love Home.
home. We did
I
home.
wanted to direct that one this year. I think one day I still will. Like what I know about myself now is I have to, if I'm gonna direct, it's
Right.
gotta be stuff I'm passionate about.
So we did home at North Carolina Central, and Sam was there and allowed us to turn into a musical.
Shut up.
Yes, we had songs in between. Yeah, it came out good. My dear friend Karen Dakins Brock directed the play. So yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So any tips you want to give to young people who are getting into the craft of acting or entertainment? Any crystal nuggets you can give them?
That's funny because I have a little podcast and I ask people this question all the time, and I love getting different stuff. Let me see what I come up with. Real
Okay.
quick. All right. Young people that are interested in getting into craft. Find. All right. Let me back up.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
My mentor said, you can find anything else you love as much, do that.
Mhm.
Because it is a hard road. And what I would say, it is a hard road. But if you love it, stick with it. And
Right.
don't be afraid to diversify. You can do more. It will behoove you to learn as many things as you can, because I have elbowed my way into a room in so many different ways
Right.
because I had more than one skill, right?
Exactly.
Okay, I didn't get cast in this show, but you know what? I can do the dramaturge work for you. I can do the research
Mhm.
for you. Maybe I'm not acting in the show, but you know what? I do know a little bit about stage management or lights or choreography, right? And then
Mhm.
you're still a part of that production. You're still able to network. You're
Exactly.
still able to be a part of the thing you love. You never know how it's going to feed you just being around it. So diversify where you can. And if you love it, find a way to keep going. And also, I got more.
Okay.
Uh, here's the thing. Broadway is not the end all be all. All right.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Hollywood is not the end all be all. I think it's really important for young artists to define what success means to them.
Right.
Right? Because I promise you, there are a ton of inequities in Broadway, in Hollywood, and all of this that are crazy things to deal with, right? But if you love acting and you're able to do it where you are, right, and you can eat, like, that's success, right? If I'm able to get into the room and I had a good time doing it, and I'm not starving,
Mhm.
that's success, right? For me, um, acting is a passion, but teaching is also a passion. And
Me too.
anytime I'm able to find a way to do both, when I'm
Right.
growing these two trees, as I call it, that's success for me, right?
Yeah, because it is so rewarding to every year put young people out there in the fields, and when they see you at Walmart and says, Professor Hinton, you taught me so much. I
Mm,
really, you're one of my favorite teachers. Oh, it just, you know,
yeah.
everybody's not gonna like you because you're gonna tell them the truth, right? And that's
Mhm.
what they need to hear is the truth.
Yes.
And some of them can't take it,
No.
but the ones who do and go on and be successful, really is a blessing. It really
Hmm.
is.
It is. I
Yeah.
think too, like, people, just because there are people that just choose to act, a little bit here and there, right? And
Right.
that's
Exactly.
what success means for them. But what I will say about acting, about particularly like teaching, right? Or being in an acting class, it is something that will benefit you no matter what you decide to do.
It will.
That's the thing. No
If
matter
you
where you decide to go.
Because if you're a good actor, you can do a good interview, right?
I once got turned down from a job because they told me my interview was too good.
Oh, okay. No, you didn't.
They're like, you're a little bit too prepared here. I
Right.
don't know how you got all the right answers. We're a little but no, I mean, if you can and figure out acting, you can figure out how to do a sales pitch. You
Right.
can figure out how to present to a room. You can you because what it really is the practice of empathy, right? And learning to put ourselves in somebody else's shoes. And
Yeah.
I think if we all learn that, right,
Mm-hmm.
to see the world from a perspective other than our own, then you can change the world.
That's right. You are
Mhm.
absolutely right. You
Mhm.
know, we had some workshops at North Carolina Central University, and we had professional actors come in, and one after another always say, you have to be a complete person.
Boom.
You know, you can't just be a great actor and then have a bad personality because nobody don't want to work with you.
Exactly. I think that's what people forget all the time. Like people want to work with people they like more
Right.
often than not, especially like, smaller communities are super insular. Like directors pick people they've worked with before, people that they like. A bad attitude, because theater world is so tiny. A bad attitude
Exactly.
will not get you far because you'll have a reputation about it. All right.
Yeah.
Be kind at all. And that's when I teach, I have a people first philosophy in my classes. Like
Okay.
we're
People
people
first.
first.
Okay.
We're gonna check in, and I'm gonna ask everybody how they're doing today. Like what's
Mhm.
really going on with you, right?
Yeah.
People first. You know, if
Yep.
something's off with you in my rehearsal, right? I'm not gonna immediately, blame you. I'm gonna ask you, hey, what's going on in your life before I
Yeah.
tear you up.
Right.
But
Because sometimes, and I sit down with young people, they have too much going on that you can't change some things you're all involved in. You should lighten the load, right?
mhm.
Just concentrate on what you can do. I don't know what you can do with your parents back home, but I know you're not the parent. You know what I'm saying?
I blame the culture too. Like
Yeah.
there's such a heavy emphasis on being productive all the time, and
Right.
even perfectionism within our relationships, and with our work, right? And I think that's some of the stuff we have to let go. You have to let go so
There
you
you
can
go.
be in the moment.
That's right.
Hmm.
Okay, we're about ready to wrap up, but we got to make sure that you cover everything that you wanted to cover in this interview. So, is any last tips you want to give out?
Um, if you get the chance, you should definitely try theater for young audiences. Do TYA shows; it'll teach you a lot about yourself.
Say that again, because I didn't get it.
I said TYA performances will teach you a lot about yourself. I was
Okay,
really privileged to do a tour with Missoula Children's Theater out of
okay.
Montana. You ever heard of them?
No, I haven't.
I'm gonna tell you real quick, okay?
Go ahead.
So I did this right after Black Nativity with JTP one year, and I was like,
Right.
I'm leaving because I was working at a call center and I was not about that life. And so you hop in a truck with a tour partner and you drive from city to city every week, putting on a show with kids.
Wow.
What an adventure! What an adventure!
I bet.
You don't have to do that, but if you ever get the chance, it is just to do theater for young people. It is always an incredible experience.
Wow. Sidney Edwards, University of Louisville. I got to ask you one more thing.
Okay.
What's your aspirations? What do you, when you say you're going to move to Los Angeles, but
Mhm.
do you want to be a film actress, or you want to continue to be a theater actress, or you gonna get
I'm
on TV? We're gonna see you one day on a TV series.
one of those people, this is not everybody's philosophy, but I'm one of those people that let my path choose me.
Okay.
Let my path choose me. I let the doors that open those are the ones that I'm going to walk through, right?
Okay.
I will never put myself in a box because I believe that it's possible for me to do all of those things. Maybe not all at the same time, right? But at
Right.
some point, I think I'll probably do all of those things.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, listen, let's look at the rest of your reel, then we'll come back and say our goodbyes. So if you'll go ahead and mute.
Okay. What happens when it's all over?
What do you mean?
After the festival.
We get famous, right? Somebody will whisk you away into a stupid revival. You'll win a bloaty. I'll get,
What?
a renown of some forgotten 30 socialist.
Wait, my what?
Your what?
I win my what?
Your bloaty. The Tony somebody wins, usually some supporting actor or actress. The award seems a little suspect.
Black Tony.
Yes, there are bloanies, blasters. Some reality show reject sings a sad, sad song, and it's the envelope, please.
Danny,
Or some actors are, what you talking about? In some play or movie, they're doing some real black thing. For my play, I need 4 blackers to be, oh my God, what did I say? What did, what? Did I say something wrong?
Do you think that you did?
Oh, come on. bullshit.
Okay, so you're saying every time a straight choreographer wins an award over some gay
What was a
choreographer,
straight
they're automatically like in the gay
choreographer?
mafia or some
Alright,
shit?
here we
You
go.
started it.
I know, but come on, it's funny, right?
Actually, it's pretty much not funny at all.
Oh, come on, Emily. Funny's funny. No harm, no, you know.
Okay, but reducing, I don't know, let's say, you're talking last year?
Okay, sure, last year.
Reducing that one life-changing award that woman won for her beautiful.
Yeah, it was a
terrific
7
work.
minute,
It was
scene,
like-
a 2.5 hour play, Emily. So a 7 minute scene with a big freaky monologue about a circus clown and boom, Tony.
You're fucking right. You say that she didn't deserve it. She was amazing.
She was good. Sure, I guess.
But it was a blownie.
Well, she was black and it was a Tony.
Yeah.
So it was a blondie.
Do you think
Hey, thank you so much for giving me a ride to my car. I cannot wait to hit the road in those fresh tires.
Oh yeah, no problem. You know, I actually need to get some work done to mine too.
Oh yeah?
Keeps making this like bump, bump, doink, bump noise. You know what? I need to call the shop.
Wait, I'm sorry, what noise?
It's like bump, bump, doink, bump, thud. I don't know. Hello? Hi, yeah. Do you have time to get me into the shop either today
Whoa,
or tomorrow? Because this car keeps
Hey,
making a
hey,
bump, doink, thud
hey,
noise.
hey.
Sometimes it's like,
Did you not see that coming?
uh-uh.
I didn't even know those could come off.
Man, if those budget meetings get any longer, I'm going to need a sleeping bag and a pillow.
I know, right? I am so ready for lunch. I guarantee they're all already there, placing their order. You know, we should text them and let them know what we want.
Yeah, I want pepperoni calzone.
Okay.
No. Sausage calzone.
All right. Okay. On our way, order yet. We want calzones, baby.
Watch out!
Oh. Coming through.
You almost got swept.
You just saved my life. I am forever indebted to you.
Not this again.
Mm-hmm.
No. You owe me a calzone.
That's it?
Yeah.
My life just flashed before my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It all happened so quick, you know? Like 1 minute I was there and then I wasn't.
Terrible.
Okay, I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining us on Theater Talk Live. Sidney Edwards, University of Louisville, great actress. You'll see her on the screen coming soon.
Thank you so much for having me, Kenny.
Okay, take care, everybody. Good night.